What am I gonna do? After that whole fiasco last time, it seems like my blog show is going from good to worse. Season 3 began with the film that I actually liked, which was kind of in the style of my spirit animal, which was The Last Unicorn. I also did blog with certain other films like Strange Magic, along with Mulan, which were both good in my eyes, and also did a Valentine's blog with Romeo and Juliet, and reunited with SpongeBob, and also blog The Prince of Egypt, which was a good film, and also did a countdown of 11 other Disney princesses who are also underrated. And after going through Cinderella, Frozen Fever, and Return to Oz, I've been going through some trouble. Starting with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Lucy, and Annie. What can I blog next that's considered should be decent? Maybe there's something out in theaters that I haven't looked at yet. Okay. www.fandango.com. Here we go. Let's see. No. None of these. No. Done that already. Uninteresting. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Perfect! Hi everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. And after the last 3 blogs, I think it's time for me to take a look at something good again, finally. And what is my blog for today? Well, let's start by talking about a certain CGI short starring an alien race called the Boov. Well, last year in spring 2014, a 4-minute short called Almost Home was attached to 2 theatrical showings. The first one being of DreamWorks Animation's Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and Blue Sky's Rio 2. It was directed by Todd Wilderman and features a score composed by Lauren Balfe. The short shows the Boov and their leader, Captain Smek, in a sequence of unsuccessful attempts at finding a hospitable planet, before they finally come across the planet Earth. And, in my opinion, it was funny, but it did give a foreshadowing of what was coming up later. My rating, 70%. But after a whole year, DreamWorks has finally given the Boov their own full-length science fiction comedy, which is what I'll be looking at today. Released on March 27th, 2015, the movie is Home. Now, let's get started. When O, a lovable misfit from another planet, lands on Earth and finds himself on the run from his own people, he forms an unlikely friendship with an adventurous young girl named Tip, who is on a quest of her own. Through a series of comic adventures with Tip, O comes to understand that being different and making mistakes is all part of being human. And while he changes her planet and changes his world, they discover the true meaning of the word home. So, what did I think of this film? Well, it was funny, groovy, tear-jerking, and heartwarming, And in my opinion, I like it, but a little bit less than Monsters vs. Aliens. But on the other hand, it was way better than these three. But I'll get to one of them later this year. But for now, let's move on to Mustang notes. In 2008, DreamWorks Animation optioned the book's rights to adapt it into an animated feature film. On his blog, Adam Rex announced that DreamWorks renewed the option of the adaptation in 2011. On June 20th, 2012, it was revealed that the title of the film would be Happy Smek Day. In September 2012, 20th Century Fox and DreamWorks Animation announced the release for November 26, 2014. Then in June 2013, the film was retitled From Happy Smek Day to Home. On May 20th, 2014, the film's release date was pushed back to March 27th, 2015, switching places with DreamWorks' other film, Penguin of Madagascar, which I'll get to blogging later this month. Jeffrey Katzenberg, DreamWorks' CEO, reasoned that Penguins, coming from one of DreamWorks Animation's most successful franchises, would be an easier task to stand out during the Thanksgiving time, while Home would try to take advantage of less competitive spring release window and repeat successful spring launches of some other DreamWorks Animation films, including The Croods, which I hated, and How to Train Your Dragon, which was epic. Now, since this is a DreamWorks animated film, the animation is pretty good. From different countries that O and Tip go to the Boov's technology. What they did with certain places like the Eiffel Tower, the Roman Colosseum, and the Leaning Tower of Pisa on anti-gravity platforms were neat. And the town in Australia that the Boov were relocating all the humans to almost makes me think of certain private neighborhoods, in a way. And that's basically all I have for Mustang notes. So let's talk about the characters and their voice actors. The main lead, O, is voiced by Jim Parsons. Now, there aren't that many films that I know him from, except for the fact that I only know him from being Walter's human counterpart in the 2011 Muppet Movie. Now, unlike the other Boov, who care about order and say they have no family, friends, or neighbors, O is a friendly outcast among them. And he's disliked by most of the other Boov. I mean, sure, the O can change colors like them, depending on his emotions, and he doesn't have proper English like them. But he does seem like someone who I'd want to be friends with and party with, since I'm kind of like him in a way, since not many people, during my early years didn't like me either. But that's another story. Let's move on. Next we come to Gratuity Tootie, aka Tip, voiced by one of my favorite singers, Rihanna, who did sing such great hits like Disturbia and Shut Up and Drive, which made it into Disney's Wreck-It Ralph. She's the only human character who wasn't relocated to Australia. When the Boov invaded Earth, she and her mother, voiced by Jennifer Lopez, were separated on Christmas, and Tip is willing not to rest until she finds her mother. In my eyes, Tip is a great character. She's smart, crafty, independent, and sweet, mostly when she doesn't get irritated with O. And I just love her cute little kitten named Pig. Also, her car, which upgrades into a hovercar, is really cool. Makes me wonder, when are we ever going to get hovercars anyway? If we have such advanced technology like iPhones with touchscreens, or flat screen TVs, or 3D technology, or video games with motion controls, why can't we ever have hovercars? I don't know. Let's just move on. Next, we have Captain Smek, the leader of the Boov race, voiced by legendary comedian Steve Martin, who's, been in films like Little Shop of Horrors and Looney Tunes Back in Action. And let's not forget his role as Inspector Jacques Clouseau from the recent Pink Panther films. Now, Smek is the reason why the other Boov are so bland and care about order, and the reason why O is so outcasted. So he plans to, erase O after so many mistakes, and he's also a guy who runs away from problems and wields a rock he calls a shusher, which is a plot point on a staff. Also, his personality is, in the same style Steve Martin always does his characters. And lastly, let's talk about the GOG Commander, voiced by Brian Stefanek. Never heard of him. Now, these guys are who the Boov are afraid of, and I don't blame them. The GOG Commander is like a squid-like creature who looks threatening and mean. Plus, his mothership is pretty similar to certain ships, like the ones from Independence Day, due to its huge size. And his ship also has the ability to what the aliens have from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is destroy planets. But in reality, the GOG are chasing the Boovs, because they're trying to retrieve something that the Boovs took from them. Which I won't say due to spoilers. Now, before I move on to my final words, let's talk about the soundtrack and what I think about it. Now, in addition to her voice role, Rihanna did create a concept album for the movie, which was released on March 24th, 2015. It consists of 8 original songs. The soundtrack's lead single, Rihanna's Toward the Sun, was premiered on BBC Radio 1 on February 24th, 2015. That song was pretty catchy, and it also feels very powerful. It gives me goosebumps every time I listen to it. It was made available for digital download the same day via the iTunes Store. It was sent to Contemporary Hit Radio in the United States on March 17th. The second single, Feel the Light, recorded by Jennifer Lopez, which I feel is very emotional, was released on February 25th, 2015 via the iTunes Store. But my most favorite song in this movie was called Dancing in the Dark, which Tip plays on the radio while she and O are flying over the ocean. Now, it's time to move on to my final words. Overall, Home is an enjoyable film from DreamWorks Animation, and while it's geared more for children, there are still some parts that even people my age might like about it too. The characters are memorable, the jokes are spot on, the animation is DreamWorks great, and the whole story is out of this world. If you haven't seen this film yet, then be sure to gather up your kids and see it now. You'll both have a great time. I give it an 80% out of 100. Well, that's it for today, everybody. I want to thank the people at DreamWorks for making Home and giving me the opportunity to blog it. It really did cheer me up after the last 3 blogs I made. So, be sure to join me for my next blog, because next time, we're going back to Kingdom Hearts. Mustang!